war against drugs, terrorists, crime, and poverty. He also thanked President Obama for the United States' firm support for the Philippines during the G20, where President Obama emphasized the importance for China to abide by its obligations under international law and underscored the United States' unwavering commitment to the security of its treaty allies. Both delegations, however, have agreed that in the light of the issues that still need to be worked on, the bilateral meeting between the two nations will be postponed to a later date. President Duterte explained that the press reports that the President, Obama, would lecture him on extrajudicial killings led to his strong comments, which in turn elicited concern. He regrets that his remarks to the press have caused much controversy. While asserting the intent to chart an independent foreign policy and promote closer ties with all nations, he expressed his deep regret, deep regard, and affinity for President Obama and for the enduring partnership between our nations. The President looks forward to ironing out differences arising out of the national priorities and perceptions and working in mutually responsible ways for both countries. Duterte stressed that in securing and preserving the rights and liberties of our people, it is imperative that the fight against illegal drugs, terrorists, crimes, and poverty must be won in order to preserve the principle and values upon which our democratic way of life is anchored. And thank you. We will now have the presidential spokesperson, Ernie Abella.
This is a personal statement coming from President Rody Duterte. Excuse me?
Hey.
Stay low,
All right.
please. Back, please.
Again, let me repeat, this is a statement from the President, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. The meeting between the United States and the Philippines has been mutually agreed upon to be moved to a later date. While the immediate cause was my strong comments to certain press questions that elicited concern and distress, we also regret it came across as a personal attack on the U.S. President. Our primary intention is to chart an independent foreign policy while promoting closer ties with all nations, especially the U.S., with which we have had a long-standing partnership. We look forward to ironing out differences arising out of national priorities and perceptions and working in mutually responsible ways for both countries. End of statement. Thank you.
So is he apologizing?
He certainly says that he regrets what has happened.
We will now have Secretary Jess Dureza to answer questions. Excuse me? Sir? So dito ka.
Yes, go ahead.
We will now have Secretary Jess Dureza to answer questions.
Just limit the questions lang. The statements are very clear. The President's statement has been read accurately.
It was postponed to what date? I mean, how later?
There is no specific date yet when it will be postponed.
But did we already request for a new bilateral meeting with the U.S.?
There is no such thing yet.
We haven't started the
The
process
statement is very clear. It's being moved to a later date. So let's wait when that date will
in Laos?
be announced.
In Laos
There's
or
nothing specific yet. So
how about meeting with Lee?
with the Chinese
Meeting with the Chinese.
I have no information about that.
Is this an apology?
No, you read the statement and you take it as it is.
Is the U.S.
Thank you.
open to meeting Philippines at a later date?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Sir, how did they convey the cancellation? I mean, how did they send the notice of cancellation?
We don't want to talk about the details here. No? Let's stick first to the statement. It's read in total by our spokesperson, Ernie, and the Philippine government statement has been read also by our press secretary. So let that be.
But the
Later on,
meeting is
we'll
mutually agreed.
say again.
The next meeting.
There is no date yet, certain. So
But it was
we'll
a
make
meet-
the announcement at the proper time.
But it was a mutually agreed. Mutually
The
agreed.
statement is very clear.
What are these points to be ironed out?
Would you please first refer to the statement, and then at a later time we'll give you some more details.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
But, sir,
Salamat,
sir,
salamat.
sir,
Thank you.
sir, sorry.
Thank you.
Sir, yung